An end to sorrow. And why would you want that? Escaping shared fate. We all sit around, we all have our lives, we all make choices. That old saying, misery loves company, for me, is probably true, but also one of the worst statements you can imagine living in. Too many people say, well, it's bad for me, it's also bad for them. So we sit around sharing, we sit around bleeding together, we sit around feeling sad together, saying, nothing you can do, such is life. C'est dommage, that's too bad. Shogunai in Japanese, nothing you can do. Over and over again, we all make choices. We look to our friends, we look to our parents, we look to our siblings, we look to our husband or wife, our relationships, and we go, well, that's the way it is for them. That's the way it is for me. That's the way it is for everyone. And so we all end up going to the same place. We all share that same fate. An end to sorrows, an end to sadness, an end to your sadness. Perhaps if you stood and stopped and looked and chose again, decided for yourself what is worth it and what is not worth it for you, without looking outside of yourself, without looking at another human, without looking at a TV show or a magazine article or something on the internet or the YouTube or whatever, something on TikTok especially, looking at others and saying it's the same for them, so it has to be the same for me, especially when it's a sad situation or a sad ending or a sad purpose or a sad event or a sad destination, seems to me kind of silly. Why would you want to share the fate of those around you? Look around. My parents used to tell me how to be alive, how to save money, how to be in relationships, what sort of education I needed, the religion I should follow, the best way to dress, the best things to eat, all of those things. And I remember looking at them one day and going, why would I listen to you? You're not happy. And that stuck with me forever. Even though I got dirty looks, even though they looked angry with me, even though to this day they look at me with, rolled eyes and incomprehensible looks, which to me doesn't make any sense. Because if you're not happy, why should you give advice? If you're not 100% happy in your life, something's wrong. If your health isn't good, if your monetary situation isn't to your satisfaction, if your relationship is not to your satisfaction, if your day-to-day existence and life and love and happiness is not to your satisfaction, and I don't mean anybody telling you what is and what is not good for you or not good for you, but by your own judgments on yourself and your own judgments on your life and your own judgments for how you are, and I mean everything, inside, outside, top to bottom, 100% of you, even the subconscious and what you're not aware of, how can you possibly give advice? And then on the other side of that, how could I possibly listen to the advice of anyone who's not in a place of what they're sharing? How to have a good life? Are they having a good life? How to be happy? Are they happy? Sure. If you want to just make money and you talk to a man or a lady or a company that for some reason or somehow is rolling in the dough, and that's all you're interested in, and I've done that when I was, in the financial industry in my early 20s, it works. They're making money, you're making money, you listen to them. That's okay if that's what you want to do. But as I said a little bit in my last video, I watched these people making this money. None of them are happy. None of them are healthy. None of them are loving, pretty much. They were all sad or angry or sick or too much weight, too much drinking, too much eating, too much cheating on their husbands and wives or wanting to, too much sadness about their life and nothing coming forward that'll make them happy moving forward, just too much living in their own past, their own sentimentality, which to me at the time seemed very sad. I'd watch the old men walk around the office saying, when I was younger, I knew this movie star and we did this and we traveled here and we went on this trip and we did that. And boy, what a courtship I had. I remember one guy said, I spent all the money and now it was short, dumpy, and sad. So why would I follow their lives? I didn't. I left. I didn't want to share their fate. And that's what this is about. Phantom dance. I saw the phantoms in their eyes, dancing with their past, dancing with their regrets, dancing with their sadness or their anger or whatever, just dancing with things that weren't really there, but were there for them, the illusions, the mirages, the phantoms of their lives. And overall behind them, like a shroud of dark unhappiness, was their sadness, which they draped over them like this coat and walked around bent. I think that's why older people get bent. I don't think it's because they're old. I really don't. I don't think it's because their bodies just naturally do that. I think it's the sadness and the heaviness and the inward looking of their energy that gets compacted like a tooth or poo over time. And of course, you can't help but be bent and heavier and bent And do I want to share that fate? Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even for 5 minutes. Although I have in my life looked around with some friends. You want to stop drinking, don't hang out with alcoholics. You want to stop eating bad food, don't go out to restaurants with your friends that do that all the time. It's obvious. As a friend of mine used to say, it's not rocket science. You can see what's not working for someone else, so you shouldn't think it's going to work for you. They're a salaryman, you're a salaryman, they're unhappy 20 years later, chances are same for you. Same with the food you eat. You watch someone who's been smoking for 50 years, you go, oh, do I want to go there? No. I walk into so many cafes and restaurants and convenies here, convenience stores, and I'm about to buy a sweet or a chocolate or a sandwich, and then there's someone very big with a huge butt in front of me. Mostly what do? I walk out because I don't want to grow into their life. I don't want to fall into the old person's life into the ground. Right? I don't want to be that sad guy with the sad wife, or you don't want to be that sad woman with the sad husband and children that don't love you. Look at their life. Look at the people in any religion when they get older. Is it working for them? Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm going to say no. So the bottom line here is escaping shared fate. Look around, see what's there. Don't lie to yourself. Don't make excuses. Don't say, well, maybe it's okay. It's kind of nice. It's better than. You never know. Nothing better out there. What can I do? I've already been here 10 years. Might as well be here 11 for a job or relationship, siblings, children, parents, countries, whatever. Look around. If you're not happy in your own estimation, and by happy, I mean feeling love, and by happy, I mean feeling satisfied, feeling like you're getting somewhere, feeling some accomplishments, feeling like your life is going in the direction where you wish it to go. And I don't mean 98% and you go, well, it's better than. I mean 100%. And if it's not, change according to you what you need to change. Change your pants, change your job, change your relationships, change your attitude, change your beliefs, change your illusions, change your pants, whatever it takes. Because if you make some change and then you keep the change, and I don't mean loose change, maybe you got to tighten your change and then make some intelligent choices for yourself moving forward, then you won't share the fate of even the past you. You won't share the fate of your bad choices. Fate, in my opinion, is simply the choices you make, what you deserve. You served it to yourself by your actions or inactions, by your beliefs, by your allowance, by allowing, by what you chose as what matters and what doesn't matter, making matter out of energy. And you move towards this box called fate, one step at a time or one lifetime at a time, 1 year at a time, doesn't matter. By the time you get there, you've walked yourself there, crawled yourself there, sat down and decided not to move. And so it grabbed you simply because it's the fate you chose. We all come here. We all have our choices. We all have some parents. We all get some beliefs. We all get some ideas. We all watch and see and grow or don't. And then we can all choose how to be alive. So shared fate, escaping shared fate. Be honest, look around at those in your life. If you're by yourself, look around, go, I don't want to be by myself. That could be what you're seeing. You're in a room by yourself. You don't want to be alone. You're feeling lonely. You can escape that shape, your own shared fate, the shared fate of your shenanigans, if you like, the shared fate of your fears, the shared fate of the you that's not the real you. You want to be you. So put yourself to one side, go, well, this is the choices this Lorenzo's making. I don't like those choices. I don't want to share his fate. I'm going to make other choices and go that way. He can have that fate. He can keep going in that direction that's not happy for me. He can decide what he wants to do. I'm going to make a new choice. I'm going to choose again. I'm going to breathe in inspiration, fresh air. I'm going to decide for myself what I care about and what I don't without asking anyone if it's okay or not. Unless you need to, it's okay. But the bottom line is final choice is yours. Don't share the fate of those you don't like. Don't share the fate of those you don't love. Certainly don't share the fate of looking around and seeing sad, angry, unhappy, unhealthy people, country, job, families. Unshare the fate by deciding for yourself you want to go a different way, and then make some choices and then see and then act. Even if it's hard, it should be hard. If you've been sitting in one spot for long, of course your muscles will hurt. Of course you hear all kinds of fears. Of course you won't know what's coming next if you've been living in one way only. That's the way it goes. You want a new fate, you have to allow the new in. You have to allow yourself to make better choices and you have to allow for the unknown that's going to scare your pants off. So walk around without any pants for a little while if you need to. Go somewhere warmer, it doesn't matter, or no shoes. Be uncomfortable. Jump in the unknown, because if you don't like what's here, go there. And if you don't want to go there and you want to sit here and complain, talk to yourself, because I don't care. No one should care, because anybody, in my opinion, can make a different fate for themselves, can make a better place for themselves simply by acting in the ways they feel honestly, subconsciously, at the core, in their heart, in their guts, and all those other lovely, wonderful places that most people ignore is the right place for them, the right fate for them. All right. Please like and subscribe. This is part 2 of 6, Phantom Dance, Escaping Shared Fate. There's more coming. I'll leave the links below if anybody has any intelligent suggestions for future ones, participations, and all those lovely, lovely, lovely things. I'm more than happy to hear about them. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on the next one.